she's getting used to being out there.
I don't think so.
Well, she frequently tells me what he pheasant, so I thought, but the bear was and just after school.
Actually, sick that time.
No one was eating. Okay. Make sure Barbara's ready. You all set, Barbara?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The board met tonight in executive session. We're now ready to go ahead with the public portion of our meeting. First, we'll do written communications. We have not had any written communications addressed to the full board since our last meeting, which was on May 16th. I did want to draw your attention to the recent death of Edna Moriarty. Some of you know the Moriarty family, who had lived in Glenridge for a long time. Mrs. Moriarty was the mother of Richard Moriarty, who had been on the Ed Foundation. She was also the wife of Richard D. Moriarty, who served on the Board of Education from 1982 to 1989. That Board of Education was responsible for the beginning of both our pre-K program and our full-day kindergarten program. And the Moriartys have long been boosters of the school system and active in the community. So please keep the Moriarty family in your thoughts. Also, in terms of legislation, the state budget process is winding down. For those of you who don't know, the state budget has to be finished by June 30th, midnight of June 30th. If they don't finish it, they have to stay there till they do, and they stop all the clocks in the State House. It's an interesting process, and some years they do go beyond June 30th, but I think this year they will have a state budget without significant cuts for things like school aid by June 30th. Some teacher legislation, teacher shortage legislation is advancing in the legislature and has been passed by the full assembly. The same pieces of legislation are waiting for passage in the Senate and, of course, eventual signing by the governor. And of interest, there has also been some legislation introduced, it hasn't been heard in committee yet, that would cut state aid to any school district that bans books. It's extremely controversial, and as I say, it has not been heard yet, but it was introduced in the New Jersey Senate. And that is one other piece of legislative information. This week, in two different committee settings, the legislators will be hearing about potential legislation that would require the filling out of the FAFSA, the federal aid form, student aid form, or a similar form as a requirement for high school graduation. Again, that's another piece of controversial legislation, but it is on track to be heard this week. And that is the President's report. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. This is the last board meeting of the school year, so at this time, we like to recognize our Teacher of the Years and those who are retiring. So we're going to do it by school, and I know Mr. Murphy has an important appointment with his home and school tonight, so he's going to go first. And we're going to recognize our Educators of the Year first. And for us, Marie Chesney. Is she here? Matt's going to say a few words anyhow. We like him talking.
I brought a few notes, but they're in the wrong order. Okay, so the first person who we're honoring tonight is Miss Marie Chesney. She is a special education instructional paraprofessional who has been selected to receive the Educator of the Year Award at Forest Avenue School. So I just want to say a few words. Ms. Chesney is a true team player, and she's been a tremendous asset to our self-contained special education program. She's willing to learn new things and dives right into difficult tasks. She's interested in and willing to learn the most up-to-date strategies and to implement them into her small group instruction. She regularly goes above and beyond the requirements of her position to take on additional tasks and responsibilities. She's flexible, adaptable, and always ready to make an adjustment on just a moment's notice, which is something that's hard to do. Every school day, she can be found providing care and reassurance to a child, supporting her students in the general education setting, and also teaching small groups of children with a wide spectrum of developmental and learning needs. When Ms. Chesney finds that typical methods and strategies don't work, she tries to adapt and perseveres. She's always looking for a better way to do things. She truly loves her children. So I wanted to say congratulations to Ms. Marie Chesney. Now for our Educator of the Year teacher, I'd like to say welcome to Mrs. Petruzzi and her husband and children. Thanks for coming out tonight. Yeah, come on up. Hey, what about me? Well, we can hug again. Mrs. Petruzzi has fully committed herself to the academic, social, emotional, and behavioral development of the children for her 23 or 24 years at Forest. It's moving up and up and up. While she's taught at various grade levels, she's now the pre-kindergarten teacher at Forest Avenue School, where she employs a variety of innovative strategies for supporting skill development. She's a firm believer in meeting the needs of the whole child. And she's been a model and advocate for play-based learning experiences, Orton-Gillingham-based phonemic awareness and phonics instruction, and high expectations for good character and behavior. Her approach benefited her students both during and since the pandemic. Upper-level teachers often mention the observed evidence of Mrs. Petruzzi's teaching practice in her former students' use of appropriate social skills. Through the years, she has used a proactive approach in seeking out essential strategies and interventions for students demonstrating developmental delays in an effort to provide necessary assistance in the most timely manner. Mrs. Petruzzi is a lifelong learner, pursuing graduate coursework and also completing the rigorous certification program associated with the Orton-Gillingham program. Mrs. Petruzzi is a visible member and teacher leader within the Forest Avenue School community and has been selected by a committee of peers and community members to receive this award. So congratulations, Mrs. Petruzzi.
The next, we're going to honor the one retiree we have at Forest Avenue School, who's been with us since September of 1995. We actually came into Glen together, so it's hitting me a little bit hard. Charlene Riley, would you please come up? Charlene has become such a leader in this district, not just at Forest Avenue School, but among our nurses. She is our veteran nurse in the district, and I can't imagine going through the pandemic without her assistance and leadership and guidance, and we probably spoke more in that year and a half than we did in the other 25 years combined. So I just want to say thank you, and it's been a great joy.
Dog now or later? Okay, good. That's good idea. So Forest Avenue School is celebrating and also stressing out about the upcoming retirements of 2 employees that have really been critical to our school for many, many years. And one of these employees will be retiring upon the conclusion of this current school year. You know the number of days? You're not counting, right? And she's being acknowledged this evening, and that is our school nurse, Charlene Riley. Charlene's been with the Glen Ridge Schools for the past 28 years, the last 17 or so as a school nurse. I tacked on a few months on there for you. It's been an honor and a joy to work with Charlene professionally and also to have gotten to know her personally throughout her years at Forest Avenue School. For those of you who have had the pleasure of knowing her, then you know that she is so much more to Forest Avenue School than the school nurse. And I'm not saying that's an easy job, but she is more than a school nurse. She's the caretaker of the entire school community. She believes in best practices and does not accept anything less. She's been a fierce advocate for maintaining the health and safety of students and staff, for developing procedures and protocols that protect children with medical conditions, and for making the wellness of our children and staff a priority. She's our medical provider, our therapist, our problem solver, and our doer of all things that must be done. For years, she has taken on leadership roles in community service, character education, abilities awareness, many school projects, and has also pursued grant funds over and over again. When there's any kind and every kind of ordeal at school, she is the go-to person that has the knack for finding the common ground and positive solutions that lead to a positive, peaceful outcome. She's kept us sane before, during, and after the pandemic. She's a master at making relationships with children, staff, and families, so often providing reassurance and creating trust that is required for parents to comfortably leave their youngsters with special needs in our care. There's so many details and stories that I could share in regard to all of the things that make Charlene great. But I know it's not possible to do it in a couple of minutes, and I also have to speak on her behalf in a couple days, so I need to save some. But Charlene, I've learned a great deal from working together with you about advocacy, professionalism, and doing the right thing for children, even when it is the hard thing. You've really been the best advisor that any principal could ever ask for, so congratulations.
Congratulations. Next up is Linden Avenue School Principal, Dr. Joseph Caravella.
Okay, at Linden Avenue School, we have, for our Governor's Educator of the Year Award, we're going to start with Paula Horton in her role as our reading specialist. Paula is a caring, compassionate, effective reading specialist who always had positive interactions with our students, staff, and parents. She puts her all into everything she does, comes to school each day prepared to make the students feel special, as she always helps them, and their needs are always in the forefront of her mind. She always finds different ways to reach the struggling readers and who react to her positively through her instruction. She goes above and beyond to support students and teachers. This year, she's taken not only her role as to teach students, but she was an extremely valuable resource to us while we trained for the Phonics First program. Paula spent countless hours finding information and meeting with our first and second grade teachers to ease their minds in regards to this new program. She became trained and then administered the new reading map fluency test on the computer to all students in kindergarten, first, and second grade at both Linden and Central schools. Mrs. Horton completed the Orton-Gillingham program through our own Glen Ridge School District and is helpful to her to teach our current student teachers who are enrolled in this program. Let's give a round of applause for Paula Horton. Paula's so good, she's going to get recognized again from Central. Our support staff member is none other than our very own Debbie Travisano. Big round for Deb. Debbie's the eyes, ears, and the voice of Linden Avenue as she welcomes all parents and visitors with a big smile on her face. We all know it'll be a good day when Deb is in the building. She literally answers the phone with a smile on her face. She buzzes the visitors in or runs to the door if there's a forgotten lunch or backpack, and she gives additional support to the parents with no problems. She's constantly helping staff and multitasking on a daily basis, assisting me all day long, and running through the running of the building. She's always professional and goes above and beyond to make sure the staff, students, and parents feel like Linden is a home away from home the moment they enter the building. She starts her day organizing our school to run smoothly, and during our staff shortages, meaning someone's absent, she helps me with the complicated rearranging of our schedules to ensure that our classes are covered and we have everything that is set for the day. She's on the front line and the go-to person when staff and parents need answers. Underlining all of this, Deb is always calm, inclusive, and loving for our Linden Avenue family. Deb Travisano is truly the heart of our school, and we are very fortunate to have her working with us. Deb Travisano. So we have two retirements at Linden. Our first will be Carol Mayer, who's not here tonight, but I'll say some words about Carol. She's been working in Glen Ridge since 2009, and she spent most of her time here at the high school. She joined Linden 2 years ago with us in pre-K. Carol came to school each day with a smile on her face, ready to work with our youngest children. She is patient with the students and open-minded in collaborating with our staff. She is nurturing and understanding to the needs of the students and has a good sense of humor, which helps keeps our students engaged. She enjoyed working in our pre-K class with our teachers and other paraprofessionals, and she always thought it was amazing to see how much progress our youngest students made academically, emotionally, and socially throughout the school year. As she prepares for this next chapter in her life, I wish her all the best in her retirement. Let's give Carol a round of applause. And finally, our very own Rosemary Cancelleri. It is with a very, very heavy heart I speak on behalf of Rosemary. Rose is truly Linden family, and she is irreplaceable. She's been in our district for over 26 years. There's only one Rose. She has such a positive outlook and work ethic that is unmatched. I've never worked with someone who's so creative and nurturing and caring for our students. She is always busy. Rose is our grade 1 and 2 building aide who works with the children in small groups, one-to-one, and can even cover an entire class at a moment's notice. She's the unofficial mentor to the newer paraprofessionals who rely upon her for guidance and advice. She assists in all areas of our curriculum and is an asset when we do the MAP and COGAT testing. She covers the desk in the main office during lunch and recess time, and she can multitask with clerical duties. She knows each teacher's style and their expectations, and she adjusts it accordingly. She is so creative that Martha Stewart calls Rose for crafting ideas. She can make a cake better than Buddy Velastro, the cake boss. Rose is the queen of cakes. She's the only one who knows how to use the spiral bookbinding machine and the button maker in the Linden basement, and I'm hoping she teaches me before she leaves. Rose, your passion for education, your dedication to our students, your unwavering support have made an immeasurable difference. As you embark upon this new chapter of your life, may it be filled with joy, relaxation, and the satisfaction of knowing you've made a lasting impact on the lives of so many. Please join me in giving a heartfelt round of applause to honor and celebrate the retirement of Rosemary Cancelleri.
This time I'd like to call Dr. Keisha Harris down.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to embarrass greatly our Governor Educator of the Year, Teacher Beth Murak. Would you join me? Let's make this awkward. I've known Beth for, I'm not going to tell how many years we know each other. I'm not going to out both of us, but I feel like the band is back together again because we started off at Ridgewood Avenue School. I went one way, you went another, but you have not changed one bit. Beth Murak is a consummate professional. People come to my office, parents, and they'll say things such as, can I just, if I had to choose, and they only have a 50-50 shot here, 2 teachers, I would like Miss Murak. I mean, I just think her disposition. What they don't know about Miss Murak is that her standards are extremely high. I've had the opportunity to sit in her room, and I call her in the back of my mind, but never to her face until now. She's like a quiet storm, very polite, very nice, very exacting, and she holds students to the bar. They respect her. I believe they admire her. She laughs sometimes when appropriate, but they understand who the professional is in the room. You are a master teacher in my mind and in my opinion, and I hold you in high esteem, which, you know that I love you. I tell you that to your face all the time because I do. You're the hardest working teacher in show business, and I'm so grateful that you are here with me at Central and I have the opportunity to learn and work with you. You are Teacher of the Year for a reason. Your peers have spoken, they have picked you, the parents love you, and I concur 100%. You deserve it. Congratulations. Okay, embarrassment number 2. Well, there's a reason why she will be called up twice. For our Governor Educator support person would be Miss Paula Horton. She's giving me the eye of, don't do it. I'm gonna do it, Paula, I don't care. So, Paula, first things first. I've not known you as long as Joe Caravella, but I don't care about that. I think that one of the things that I noticed when I first met you is that you're one of these people who I call a truth teller, which I love. She's the type of person where if there's something that can be done better or you're doing something amiss or whatever, she will tell you, which I love. Because we all rode together, right? We all rode together. And Paula's the type of person who I can depend. If I come to her, I know she will answer with integrity. I know that she will tell me the truth, and I can mine her for ideas because she sees around corners and places I cannot. You are the specialist in your field. I rely upon that. Whether it was the dial test, the dibbles, the map, we did so many tests, we kept saying dibbles because we thought it was funny. And we were like, dibbles, the dibbles. Anything we asked, you came through for us. Phonics first. We went together, and I listened and tried to learn some things from you as well. Because while I have this position, it is not a specialist in the same way as your position. I respect you highly. I look forward to more conversations with you, picking your brain, and seeing what we can do better for our students. I am so very happy that you're with us at Central. And if I can steal you from Joe a little more, well, probably not, but I enjoy you. So thank you so very much. Congratulations, you are worthy of the honor. You're awesome.
Dr. Michael Donovan will be giving out the Ridgewood Avenue School Governor's Educator of the Year Award.
First, let me say congratulations to all of the Governor's Educator winners, and especially to all of the retirees, much deserved. Certainly, the winner from Ridgewood Avenue deserves the recognition as well. Shannon Leckis, come on up. Dirk and I hired Shannon, I think it was 13 years ago? 15 years ago, okay. Dirk and I hired Shannon 15 years ago, and to this day, when we talk about teachers, we agree that Shannon came to us as one of the most trained teachers that we had ever come across. She is with us for 15 years, but this actually marks 29 years in education. She has quite an impressive background in the area of literacy, and the students at Ridgewood Avenue School have been lucky to benefit from her love in that area. When Shannon came to us, she brought a lot, including energy for writing grants, bringing new ideas. Shannon was responsible for bringing stability balls into our school, which actually, if we think back, was recognized, I think, on NJ.com with a story, right? Yeah. So Shannon is someone who has never been afraid to be innovative, to look ahead, but at the same time, a lot of us here might remember our childhood when we did things like recipe books and we brought those home. That's something that Shannon still does to this day with her classes, valuing the innovative and the new, but also just thinking about things from the past and old school that sometimes are really exciting, like having students and families share recipes and then sharing that with the families. Shannon is someone who absolutely loves working with colleagues, as evidenced even just by two of her team members being here tonight to support her. She's extremely collegial. She is someone who is a strong advocate for students with special needs, both helping to identify students who maybe need some more support, and then also being a really great support person for them. Not just the year that she has them, but many of her students will come back, they will seek her out, and she is someone who they really turn to. So Shannon Leckis is absolutely deserving of this award. I mentioned that this is 29 years in education for her. We recently were sitting down for an annual conference, and 29 years is a long time, but Shannon was busy talking about the future and thinking about what the next decade looks like for her as far as teaching and in this field, and that's something to be very impressed with. So big round of applause for Shannon.
And I'd like to call John Lawler from the high school to recognize his Educator to the Year and retirees.
Good evening, everybody. Great night this is to really celebrate all these great educators and really close out the school year. So it's really great to be a part of this. We'll start with the Glen High School Education Service Professional, Erin Follett. Erin is our Guidance Department Administrative Assistant. This time of year, she really stands out as our event planner. Our Senior Awards Assembly, which we hosted last Friday, she coordinates with all the vendors and scholarship committees and donors, creates our program, she sets up the facility. I call her really the wizard behind the curtains over there on the stage while we're running our program. She's phenomenal. For our commencement ceremony next Friday, she prepares all our diplomas. She works with the administration to develop the program and communicates with all our printers and vendors. She's invaluable. On a day-to-day basis, Erin supports our staff and students in so many ways. This includes daily operations, running the guidance office, processing transcripts, scheduling meetings for the guidance department, and troubleshooting problems as they come up. She really goes above and beyond her role, and what really distinguishing her from everyone else is just she's always there to comfort students when they come into the office in distress, and is kind of that, almost like a triage. She comes in and comforts them, settles them until she can connect them with their counselor. So well deserving for Erin, and it's great to work with her. So please give her a hand. And for our Teacher of the Year, Smita Ganatra. Ms. Ganatra is an exemplary educator, shares her love for literature and the English language with students of all abilities. Ms. Ganatra is equally effective teaching middle and high school classes and is really often assigned a variety of levels from honors to college prep classes. Her lessons are engaging. She encourages critical thinking and exploring topics that foster empathy. She's reflective and often looks at how we can update our curriculum to promote diverse voices in literature. Ms. Ganatra is a leader in our building whose impact is felt beyond the classroom. She mentors new teachers. This starts with welcoming them to the Glen High School community. She meets regularly to provide guidance. She's co-advisor of our middle school yearbook, which is a tremendous task. She started the Writers Club several years ago, and each year the group facilitates a Shakespeare competition, which gives our students lots of exposure, and they are often very successful. Ms. Ganatra is an integral part of the fabric of our school through leading all these activities. And I always enjoy reading the comments from the students when they nominate their teachers, so I just brought a couple in to share with you. Ms. Ganatra has a very unique way of teaching her students. She is so passionate about what she teaches and wants students to understand. She always helps us and has given us the most amazing tips. I have English with her block 1, so it's always so fun to start the day with one of my favorite classes. And another student wrote, I never really liked ELA, but starting 8th grade, I've really grown to like it and find it fun. Ms. Ganatra helped me get in touch with my inner writer. So these are from our students. So it is with great pleasure that we award Smita Ganatra the Governor's Educator of the Year for Glen High School. And sadly, we do have 2 retirements in our building. The first is Arlene Zalewski, who's been a paraprofessional at Glen High School since 2003. In the 20 years, she has had a positive impact on hundreds of students, whether it's in the role of providing in-class support as a one-to-one aide or assisting with supervision throughout the building, always with a smile, and it's really a credit to her professionalism, versatility, and commitment to supporting our students. So please give Arlene a big hand. Thank you. And lastly, sad to say, Dr. Clooney Mendez is retiring. She's been teaching mathematics since 1999. She's also an alumni, a coach, and our department program leader for the math department. She's currently teaching upper level math, which includes pre-calculus honors and AP calculus. And for members of the board or parents or our audience online who don't know Dr. Mendez, you may know her as the staff member who stands at the end of the parking lot and prevents our parents from zipping through the lot every morning to drop their kids off. Dr. Mendez has a great sense of humor, and I always appreciate her candor in our conversations. We do have a running joke that all I do is walk around the building every day and eat donuts. It's partly true. I do pass her classroom frequently, and it is a sight to see. You know, on any given day, students are up at the board. You hear a buzz in the classroom as they're working through these really complex math problems with Dr. Mendez at their side to help facilitate. That's except on Fridays when they have quizzes, right? So it's always a great thing to see Dr. Mendez's class. Beyond the math, I would say she cares for her students as if they're her own. They're always welcome in her room before school. You see them there during their lunch period. And at the end of the day, she's a great colleague, and we'll definitely miss her next year. So on behalf of the Glen High School community, we wish Dr. Mendez success as she moves on with the next phase of her life and career in sunny Florida. Dr. Mendez.
We have one more retiree at the board office, Cindy Short, who's in charge of accounts payable. I'm going to say a few words. It's since I became superintendent, the board office is a little family. There's only a handful of us there, and we see each other on a daily basis. And my office is on the first floor, so everyone passes by and then typically will say hi unless they're angry at me and they're ignoring me. But Cindy is just very passionate about what she does. Very detail-oriented, and she's such a part of a great team. So I want to thank Cindy for her service, and Barbara's going to say a few words.
So I'd like to congratulate her on her retirement. She's been diligently processing invoices, meticulously reviewing financial records, and ensuring that every transaction is accurately recorded for the last 25 years. She quietly pays all of the invoices of our $40 million budget, ensuring that all the necessary paperwork is in order and that our staff can get the supplies that they need. Our clean audits are a testament to her dedication, hard work, and a job well done. She has been a mentor, a confidant, and a friend to many in the district. We thank her for her unwavering commitment to excellence, her dedication to our team, and her immeasurable contributions to the smooth running of our business office. On behalf of everyone here today, I extend our warmest congratulations and heartfelt best wishes to Cindy in her retirement.
Lastly, I would just want to say, as we're heading into the last week and a half of school, hopefully everyone will have time to enjoy all the ceremonies, promotions, move-up day, and certainly graduation. I want to congratulate those who are moving up to new buildings next year, and certainly our class of 2023 as they enjoy their last few days here at Glen Ridge High School. They're going to be missed, and we look forward to the ceremony next Friday.
Okay. For those of you who would like to stay, we always love it when people watch us. But I know that some of you may have commitments elsewhere, and if you do, we will be happy also to say goodbye to you. So if you would like to stay, that's fine. If not, we wish you all a good evening. Thank you. Okay, now we have come to the first public comment period for comments or questions on agenda items only. Since our entire audience is left, I expect that there are no public comments, although if any of you administrators have something germane to say that you haven't already said in celebration of our honorees, this would be the time. Any questions or comments? Silence. Okay. Well, maybe we'll have an audience for the second public comment period, which will be coming up shortly. Given that, it is the first meeting of the month. It is the only meeting of the month, so it is time for any committee or liaison reports that are available. So, Colin, let's start with you.
Okay. First of all, another strong athletic season at GRHS. We had 2 golfers qualify for the individual state tournament, Preston Palm and Emily Renoff, and we also had 1 tennis player, Tyler Blands, participating next week in the individual state championships. All of our teams advanced past the first round of the state tournament, and our girls lacrosse team went the furthest, unfortunately losing in the sectional final 17-7 to Rumson Fairhaven. Also, congratulations to our track and field team, where we had 8 students qualify for the Group 1 state meet, which will be held this Friday and Saturday at Franklin Township High School. And those students were Emma Bucalo, Claire Leota, Brielle Munoz, Abigail Peak, Mia Bressler, Ava Decker, Maddie Nichols, and Natalie Shaw. Also, we recently just had our junior-senior prom on Friday, which we had a great turnout for. That was fun for everyone, great new venue. And before that, we held our senior awards assembly, where we recognized academic achievement, scholarship recipients, and the athletic awards. New this year, we recognize students who achieved the NJ Department of Education's Seal of Biliteracy for demonstrating a high level of proficiency in English in either Spanish, French, or Chinese. 2 seniors, Jasmine Shaver and Georgia Frazier, earned the seal for 3 languages. As well as that, the middle school and high school concert bands performed last night at Ridgewood, and the jazz band will perform tomorrow night at 6:30 at Freeman Gardens. And finally, congratulations to new inductees of the French Honor Society and the National Honor Society, who recently hosted their induction ceremonies, and the Spanish Honor Society will be hosting theirs soon. And also real quick, I just want to say thank you to the board for this opportunity. Today was my last meeting, so I really enjoyed being here, so thank you for all of that.
You beat me to the punch, Colin. I was going to say thank you for spending your time with us. You are our first full-time student representative since the new law was passed. And I can't, whoever follows you is going to have a tough act to follow. We know that you are going on to greater things at Notre Dame University in the fall, but you are just exemplary in every single way. And we are so proud that you have been our student representative. And I know it's not hard to be the first one in the job and to sit on the end of the table and to wait while everyone else says whatever else they're going to say. So we thank you, we are honored by your presence, and we wish you so much success in your next chapter. Thank you. Okay, Tricia.
I have nothing to report on this meeting.
Okay, Heather.
Curriculum has not met since I last reported out.
Jocelyn.
Wow. Negotiations has not met. I would like to give updates of both the Ridgewood Avenue Home and School meeting as well as the Grace meeting. Let me start with the Grace meeting since it was longer ago. On the 17th, Grace had an evening where we welcomed Mr. Phillips and Ms. Marks to talk about things going on throughout the district related to the special education audit and new activities related to the INRS process and sort of inclusion generally and sort of broadly changes that are being made to co-teaching models. And there's a recording of this meeting. I think it's the first time that Grace has ever recorded a meeting. And so if anyone is interested in hearing about this, that is available through Grace. They send it out to people who are on their mailing list, but you can also email glenridgegrace@gmail.com, or I'm sure if you email Mr. DeWitt, he can also put you in touch with the Grace coordinators and they can send you the link. And they are looking for more parents to be involved, so if you are interested in supporting the Glen Ridge Association for Special Education, again, do reach out either to Mr. DeWitt or to that email address that I shared. The Ridgewood Avenue Home and School meeting met yesterday morning and was able to elect a new slate of executive officers. We celebrated sort of all of the major events that have occurred in the past month, the Descendants, Teacher Appreciation Week, the Rhino Romp Field Day, and then the upcoming 6th grade promotion, which will be next week. They are still looking for a few committee chairs for enrichment and then someone to help with discovery. So if anyone is interested, please reach out to the new Home and School President, Stephanie Haller.
Thank you. Kristen?
I have an update from Linden, and I just need to make sure the letters are big enough. They are hosting their volunteer appreciation and last meeting of the school year tomorrow evening at the Women's Club. They will be voting in their new slate of officers, including second vice president, a new secretary, and a new treasurer. And all parents who have volunteered in any way, shape, or form in the past year are welcome and encouraged to attend. I know that they're grateful for all of the parent help that they receive. Like Ridgewood, they have a number of committee openings for the upcoming school year, including Discovery, Enrichment, Charleston Gift Wrap, Mum and Crumb, my personal favorite. Spring Fling year is next year, which is really awesome. And then they have a new committee planned to help coordinate the new playground, which I guess they are going to be starting work on that at some point in the next year or so. They had a spring concert recently that was a huge success. They also had an author day with author and illustrator Ross Barak, and they also hosted a book fair, successful book fair with Scholastic, where they sold over $4,500 in books, which is incredible, and earned $2,800 for Linden. And let's see what else. They hosted an international festival, which I was lucky enough to attend. It's the first time in 4 years that they've had this event. It was amazing. The amount of work and coordination that went into this event was really, really incredible to see, and just the different presentations that they had, the variety that was offered was really cool. they, I didn't make it down to the food in the basement, but I heard that that was one of the best parts. And I think immediately after that, they had Intergenerational Day where they had invited grandparents to come in and visit the school. And I think that is it, except for Teacher Appreciation Week. I'm sorry, and I know all the schools do that too. So busy couple weeks at Linden. Did I get everything? I think I got it. Great.
Okay, Duval.
Hi. For Forest Avenue School, their home and school is meeting tonight at Fitzgerald's. I'm hoping to pop over there afterward and see what's happened because, let's see, they're swearing in new officers for second VP, secretary, and treasurer. However, I believe they're still looking for president or co-president, so I'll throw it out there to the to the universe. They still need someone, I believe, unless someone popped up tonight. You know, we've crossed over the last few meetings with this meeting here, so I haven't been to a meeting for a while. I asked the current presidents what their biggest accomplishment was they thought this year, and really they weren't able to give me a number yet, but they're very happy with the amount of money they've raised. So I think it will be quite significant. I'll let you all know next time when I get that. But you know, as like everyone else, we're looking forward to second grade promotion and lots of fun activities ending school. That's all.
Thank you. Tracy?
Yes, the Glen Educational Foundation, I believe they sent out either today or last week their appeal to parents as a way to recognize teachers. They are able to contribute to the foundation in honor of a specific teacher or administrator or educator. And as we all know, all of this money goes directly back into the wonderful programs and initiatives that the Educational Foundation helps the district with. So for those parents out there who want to honor a particular teacher, this is another way to do that in addition to Teacher Appreciation Week. So keep a lookout in your email box, which I know is crazy this time of year, for that note that went out. The Personnel and Policy Committee met on May 22nd. We discussed the confidential employee contracts. We reviewed current staff openings and potential staff openings that will be needed to be filled. We also discussed the before and after care policy. We discuss the current policy revolving around the school calendar and any changes that would be made to the school calendar to accommodate potential holidays. And we also approved a new, I believe it's a new position as the head technician for technology. Yeah, it is on today's agenda. And I think that's it.
Okay. The high school home and school is meeting on Friday, so I will report at the next meeting on that. Anthony asked me to tell you what Colin has already told you, that you should all, if you have a few moments, go down to Freeman Gardens tomorrow night at 6:30, even if the current state of unbreathable air persists, and hear the jazz band. It will make you forget all about the unbreathable air. And there will be, Anthony says there will be a food truck there also. We also have had, as Kristen said, several coffee and conversations where the board comes to a school event like International Day and meets with any parent who wants to talk to us. And we were there at International Day. We've been at the Arts Festival. It is something that we did up until COVID and have resumed again. And it's always a good chance for us to get out, talk to people informally, for people to talk to us informally. You never know what people will say, so it is interesting from both the parent perspective and the board member perspective. And that is all the committee and liaison reports. Minutes, we will go on to the minutes. You have in your packages the minutes from May 16th, executive and regular session. Does anyone have, may I have a motion to move those minutes?
Move.
Moved by Tracy. May I have a second? Second from from Jocelyn, I'm sorry. Any changes or additions to those minutes? If that's the case, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Abstain.
Ms. Gottlieb. Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaris Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, going on to the administrative items. This is the time of year when we approve a great number of administrative items. So the agenda looks extremely long, but much of this is something that we are required to do every year. So with that, Tracy, would you move the administrative items?
Yes, I move A1 through A46.
Okay, may I have a second? Second from Jocelyn. Any questions or comments on any of the administrative items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Aye for A1 to A40, abstain for A41 through A46.
Ms. Gottlieb,
Aye.
Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaris Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Abstain on A2, aye on all the others.
Motion carries.
All right, moving on to personnel. Tracy, once again, would you move the personnel items?
Yes, I move P1 through P24, which includes a number of items on the addendum.
Okay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second from Kristen. In keeping with our rules and the board member code of ethics, personnel items are discussed in exec session. Does anyone see any reason why we can't move on these personnel items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb,
Aye.
Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaris Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Curriculum. Heather, would you move the curriculum items?
Yes, I move C1 through C7.
All right, may I have a second? Jocelyn, you win the prize for seconds tonight. Are there any questions or comments on the curriculum items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Aye for C1 through C6, abstain on C7.
Ms. Gottlieb. Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaris Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye. All right, the business items. Normally, I would ask Mr. Campbell to do this, but Mr. Campbell is not here. Duval, would you move the business items?
Sure. I'll move B1 through B19. B15 to 19 are on the addendum, if you're looking for them.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Heather. Any questions or comments on the business items? Barbara, will you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb, Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Dr. Yaris Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have now come to the second public comment period for public comment on agenda items or any other items pertaining to the running of the schools. The audience has gotten smaller since we last had this opportunity. Does anyone have any public questions or comments? Okay, that being the case, may I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Kristen, may I have a second?
Second.
Tricia, I think you got it just first. Thank you all. Thank you to the administrators who stayed for this whole time. It